A recent 2019 article from the Washington Post stated that Washington, D.C. should not be considered one of the most transient cities in the U.S. Studies conducted by institutions such as American University argue that D.C. does not consist of long-term residents and is just a pit stop for people to work but not permanently settle down here. The Washington Post article states that, quote, the area is comprised of a much more nuanced set of people who, while working jobs that necessarily come and go depending on politics, seasons, and school years, help make the city what it is, end quote. Let's hear from some local residents who were born and raised in Washington, D.C., and find out why these studies are causing tension with D.C. African American residents.
My name is Malika Hall. I'm from D.C. D.C. native. I've been here my whole life. Born in Howard Hospital. So a lot of times you hear people saying that DC is a very transient city, that it's very rare to meet people who are actually from here. But in reality, there's lots of people who have been here for generations. It has a very rich Black history going back as far as the inception of DC. It's a very convenient narrative because if DC is this transient place where no one actually lives there, then I can just come here and I can just take over, or I can just buy all these places. I don't have to be cognizant of the population here, and I feel like that's what causes a lot of issues between people who come to DC and the residents who have been here for generations. It's that typical erasing Black culture. Like, you have to pay homage, you have to notice what's there.
My name is Marie Demasu and I'm from Washington, D.C. Gentrification definitely hit D.C. really hard. It's really hard for a lot of people to be able to stay in the communities they have been in because of gentrification. Adams Morgan, Columbia Heights, and then Foggy Bottom, like back in the day, the whole racial makeup is way different now. You don't see people of color in these communities anymore, and those were the people who were here first. We saw this summer with Don't Meet DC, people just organizing and being like, hey, this is our community, period. Go-go music is a major part of DC culture, and that's just not going to be taken away. Again, you can put all the coffee shops you want, but we're going to let you know that we're here, and I think it's important to do that so that we can keep the history of our city.
This is Simone Hunter Hobson signing off.